Hello. I'm a little bit late on this one because the YouTube freaks me out and it's hard for me to do. I watched the video and I absolutely loved watching that Baptist preacher because I have a really good friend, probably a best friend that I've known for 20 some years, and he's a Baptist, and he uses the exact same voice inflections when he's talking about the same thing. So they either watch the same preachers or he watches that guy, because I thought it was funny how similar that certain Baptists are, and the way that they actually not just phrase things, but their voice inflections. When he says that Mary is not the mother of God, and then he uses his reasoning, he says man's reasoning, and he puts it down. To me, it sounded exactly right. He says, or I think he's talking about the Orthodox, but he says Christian or Catholics or Orthodox say that Mary is the mother of Jesus, and Jesus is God, and therefore Mary is the mother of God. And that's faulty logic, but that sounded like perfectly good logic to me. I think his problem is he doesn't separate person from nature. So when he's talking about Mary is not the mother of God, God existed from all of eternity. She can't be. And when he says that, he's true. When he's talking about the nature, Mary is not the mother of Jesus' divinity. And he says, well, she's just the mother of his physical or human nature, but not his divinity. And that's where he's separating. He's correct in that God's humanity is not his divinity, and his divinity existed from all eternity, and Mary did not create that. But when God became man, he united his human nature to the person of the Word. So there's only one person. So whereas the preacher is correct in saying that you don't mix up the abstract concepts of divinity and humanity, he's right in saying that you can't say that Jesus' humanity is the same as his divinity, or vice versa, and that Mary is not the mother of his divinity. But once they're united in the person of the Word, then Mary really is the mother of Jesus, just like I am the mother, I am the son of my mother. She's not the mother of my human nature. She's the mother of me. God creates every rational soul at our creation, so or when we're born or conceived, that our rational soul comes from God, and we don't say that our mother's just the mother of our human nature. She really is our mother. And just like that, God existed from all eternity, but when he became man, he had a real mother. And I thought it was funny when he says that Mary's not the mother of God. How many times is Mary called the mother of Jesus all throughout scriptures? When he mentioned the passage from Hebrews about that Christ had no father or mother, I've always taken that. I think of Scott Hahn, I followed that he's talking that St. Paul, or the author of Hebrews, is probably speaking of the father and mother, the genealogy that comes from the Levitical priesthood, because they had to prove they were Levites on their father and mother side in order to be a priest. And he's arguing that Christ is from the priesthood of Melchizedek, who is from the firstborn sonship from Shem. So I take it that way. But if you say that without father and mother, it's a mysterious passage. But we know that Jesus' father is God, and that he has a foster father in Joseph. And I think St. Luke even calls Joseph, or Mary says, your father and I have been looking for you. So Jesus does have a human father and mother, not a human father, human foster father. But Jesus, or Mary, really is Jesus' mother, in the sense that every mother is. And so Mary is the mother of God. Something I found interesting is when you talk about David. I never thought about David when we call Christ being son of David, that he was saying, David's not saying that that he is the father of God. And that's what he's saying when David says, my Lord says to my Lord, that David's saying he's not the father of God. And I never even considered that. But when Jesus is son of David, he's called son of David many times in scriptures, that David really is, I guess. I never thought of it. Just like Mary's the mother of God, David would be the great-great-great-great-grandfather of God, in the concrete sense of Jesus, that Jesus is descended from David, and David really is then the grandfather, the that God is his descendant because of the incarnation. But when we talk about humanity, divinity, we're talking about the abstract, what they are. But when we talk about the person, anytime we say person, it's united in the person. And I'm at 5 minutes, and that's all.